It's been a very contentious issue, not just in Cameroon, but in Francophone Africa. Many young Africans today, or Pan-Africanists, would say that that relationship between African, the former French colonies and France should end completely, especially with this issue of France CFR. But you have been at the IMF for so many years. Can you tell us what you did concretely to make sure that this ends? Were there some proposals from your end? What did you do?
No,
Before.
completely. Usually when you're at the IMF, actually, you can't do much. You can't do much. One of the reasons why I left, to be honest with you. First, you don't comment on countries' monetary policy choices, exchange rate regime choices, because countries are seen as sovereign entities. They can use whatever exchange rate regime they want. A fixed one using a French currency, that's their problem. You don't comment on that. The only thing you can comment on is on the advantages and disadvantages of each of the systems and on the impact of these choices on the economy. So, because at the IMF, for example, they see countries' choices in terms of currency regimes, exchange rate regimes as sovereign decisions. Okay. Now, but what I tried to do when I was, I remember working in one country, I won't tell which one, in East Africa, I tried to work on a research project to create a regional instruments that will facilitate exchanges among these countries without using the dollar, the euro, or the yuan, and a non-African currency. Unfortunately, I was not allowed to do that research because it was so-called sensitive. These are the constraints you usually face when you work in this kind of institutions, is that you are really, your hands are tied. However, in private, I continue that research. And this is why you will see that for the African Monetary Fund, that is headquartered in Yaoundé, I'm proposing to change a lot of things, including the statute itself. If you go to my website, www.bouhga2025.net, you will see that I reformed the Yaoundé statute that created the African Monetary Fund to introduce what I call the African Drawing Right, which is a new financial instrument that we're going to create in Africa within that African Monetary Fund. And that would allow us to exchange among ourselves without using the dollar, the euro, or the yuan, any other non-African currency. It's not normal that Cameroon exchanges with Nigeria using the currency of a country or countries that are 6,000 kilometers away. We can exchange among ourselves, Nigeria and Cameroon and any other country, with using our own continental instruments in the context of the African Monetary Fund.